So after we do that, we will then go over to the public garden and show you some more pretty sights. It's 5:38 p.m. here in Boston, Eastern Standard Time, so we should have a little bit more daylight time here today. So we will see some more sights. In fact, we might even go over and see some magnolias. In fact, we might do that very soon actually. So I won't spend too much time, but I do want to spend a little bit of time getting this topic started, okay? So another reason why we are enthused about talking about wormholes and time travel is because it's one of the requested topics on this channel. People who regularly come to my lives where we talk about physics, astronomy, astrophysics, and cosmology have actually often asked about this particular topic, and they have wanted to listen to the explanations of what a wormhole is, and we've talked about how Kip Thorne has a book on this, which I don't have yet on the channel. I will try to get a hold of it and talk more about this topic. Wormholes in general are not considered very practical or possible in like time travel. Not considered very practical or possible, but it is something that people like to sort of think about and maybe understand in a little bit more depth, and they are curious about it, and it also is a big topic in science fiction. How dare this guy pass near me? But anyways, it is a public place. So anyways, so that's why we will talk about wormholes and time travel for a little bit, okay? So the last chapter, so the arrow of time chapter that we discussed, we discussed why we see time go forward, okay? Why disorder increases and why we remember the past but not the future. Time was treated as if it were a straight railway line on which one could only go one way or the other, but what if the railway line had loops and branches so that a tree could keep going forward? Not a tree, a train. Sorry, I saw the word train and I thought of a tree because I am next to a tree. So anyways, they're talking about a train that could keep going forward but come back to a station it had already passed. In other words, might it be possible for someone to travel into the future or the past? So that's really what we're considering right now, is time travel, and maybe we'll see if it's possible with wormholes or not. So that's really the topic right now. H.G. Wells in The Time Machine explored these possibilities, as have countless other writers of science fiction. So this is really sort of the topic where we would heavily intersect with science fiction and writers of science fiction and people who really like science fiction, because this is something that has really captured the imagination of many people. Whether this time travel type of thing is possible or not, there's lots of movies and books and whatnot on it. So hopefully this will be very exciting for many of you. And if you're seeing this as a video upload later on, thank you so much. And welcome to the live, and also please do leave your comments when you see this as a video upload later on. And where is my mods? I am guessing they're still at work because there is a bunch of very questionable characters here on the chat sometimes, and nobody's helping me. So if you see this later on, one of my mods, just know that I was suffering and missing you. And yeah. Okay, H.G. Wells in The Time Machine explored these possibilities, as have countless other writers of science fiction, yet many of the ideas of science fiction, like submarines and travel to the moon, have become matters of science fact. So what are the prospects for time travel? The first indication that the laws of physics might really allow people to travel in time came in 1949, when Kurt Gödel discovered a new space-time allowed by general relativity. Gödel was a mathematician who was famous for proving that it is impossible to prove all true statements, even if you limit yourself. Hi Zanru, how are you doing? Zanru Grunwald says hi. Hi, how are you? Even if you limit yourself to trying to prove all the true statements in a subject as apparently cut and dry as arithmetic. I'm not sure what that really means, Sunru, but thank you so much and welcome to the live, and please do listen to our story.